The iPhone 8 and 8 Plus are here, and they've already been overshadowed by the iPhone 10. Look closer at the new phones though, and Apple's upgrades are clear. Now sandwiching aircraft-grade aluminum between toughened glass, they're easier to hold than the old iPhone 7. Apple is stuck with the same screen sizes, 4.7 inches for the iPhone 8 and 5.5 inches for the 8 Plus. Those with bigger fingers or poor eyesight should probably stick to the larger handset, as it's much easier to type on and you can really crank the font size up. New on these 8s is True Tone. The display technology is borrowed from the iPad Pro and analyses the colour temperature of the ambient light, then matches the screen's white balance to suit. It's subtle, but you notice the difference if you turn it off. We've been asking Apple for wireless charging for years, and the iPhone 8 finally delivers. Apple opted for the Qi standard, and the iPhone 8 should work with any Qi-compliant charging pad. Just make sure you line it up right when you drop it in place, as I found it can be fussy on positioning. Alternatively, there's fast charging with Lightning, which is noticeably quicker. Next year, Apple will have its own AirPower pad with space for 3 devices. Either way, battery life is about the same as last year's models. Inside, it's fast. The iPhone 8 and 8 Plus get Apple's new A11 Bionic processor, along with the GPU Apple designed itself. iOS 11 runs smooth and clean, and there's plenty of power for the augmented reality apps that Apple believes will be the next big thing in mobile. Of course, if you have a recent iPhone, you can get iOS 11 as a free download too. On the back, the iPhone 8 has a single 12 megapixel camera, and the 8 Plus has twin cameras. Apple has revamped the sensors too, and the f1.8 main camera is mighty capable on both phones. Quicker autofocus, more accurate colours, and faster shutter speeds all add up to a great everyday camera, while the True Tone flash now strobes for better low light results. The iPhone 8 Plus's dual cameras adds a second f2.8 lens, though the telephoto lacks optical image stabilisation, unlike on the Note 8. Portrait mode has graduated from beta. I mainly use it to take photos of my cat, who is more beautiful than 99% of all humans, and background blurring is more twinkly and visually pleasing in those shots. New is portrait lighting, also only on the 8 Plus. It promises pro-style lighting effects from some clever AI modelling, though the results can be underwhelming. Happily, you can switch between settings even after you've taken the photo, so no shot need be wasted. Ironically, the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus's biggest competition is arguably from Apple itself. The iPhone 10 packs more screen inches into a smaller body, replaces Touch ID with face recognition, and won't be mistaken for last year's model in your hand. On the flip side, it's crazy expensive and supplies will be tight. If you hold out for the newer iPhone 10, I can't say I'll blame you, but don't underestimate what the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus offer. They may not look new, but the familiar design hides some all-new powerhouses.